All right, this is a quick video to go over some export options here in Lightroom. I've got a selection of images here that I've pulled up, and these are all quite large. You can see if we look here, we're looking at like 64 megapixels, 149 megapixels. So these images have been, these are all for an art show, so they've been made very huge. They're Photoshop PSD files, and I need to export these out to make them smaller again. So we're going to want to walk through what that looks like. So I'm just going to pick an image here, and what I did with these also is I've expanded the border out so they could be printed with that border. There's a variety of things that kind of happen, but for our purposes, we just want to look at the export dialog box and look at some options here as to what we're going to do. I often use this export to and choose a folder later. It makes it really easy then. The next box that pops up is going to be a spot to choose where this stuff is going to go, okay? File renaming. If you haven't renamed your file yet, this is a great place to go ahead and do so. So you could rename your file, and there's many different things you could choose here. You could do custom name with original file number. You could do the file name. We could add some things in. Since each of these images has its own file name, and maybe I wanted to keep that, but maybe I want to add my own name to the front, I could do file name. I could do like edit right here. And then I could put some, I could choose to put custom text in here in the beginning. And basically I can kind of plug in exactly what this is going to look like here. And I can press done, make my own template. I could save that template then if I wanted to. Save this as a new preset. Custom text plus file name. Done, and then I can add in here what I wanted to add in. I don't tend to put spaces in my file names. I would use dashes or underscores. Okay, so image format for our purposes for our class, you're going to be exporting this stuff as a JPEG. So we're going to choose JPEG. Quality 80 works really well. This is a moment where you can choose to limit your file size to a certain size. So this would be 2,000 kilobytes, which would be about 2 megabytes. And that would actually work really well. You choose that and let Lightroom kind of crunch through this whole process for us. Or we can decide to choose our quality. And then here under image resizing, since the size isn't that critical, but we just want to get it close, we can go ahead and choose either a pixel size, an inch size, so a physical dimension with a resolution, or what I often use a lot is a percentage. And percentage works really well because I can kind of go like, all right, well, I've got a 20 megapixel camera. If I'm downsizing this to 50%, that's going to be a 10 megapixel image, which would be ample for doing most things. I could still make a nice 8 by 10 out of that without too much difficulty. In this case, this image is huge here, so I could even decrease that percentage by more. I could make it 25%, but I'll leave it at 50 for right now. I'm going to leave my resolution here at 72, and we could check this also and let the two things kind of work together there a little bit, but I'm going to uncheck that for right now. I'm going to sharpen for screen, and I'm going to include all of the metadata. That's key. And then post-processing, we'll have it show in Finder for right now, but you can turn that on or off or have it open up in another application. I do like the show in Finder because then if you're exporting many images and your computer is crunching for 10 minutes working on all of this, then a box will show up and you'll realize that you're done as you're working on something else. All right, so let's choose export. And then since I choose folder later, this is going to ask me where I want it to go. And I have a folder called exports here, so I'm just going to use that folder and have it export to that. And there's my new file. It is now a JPEG. It's named exactly the way we want it to be, and it's almost exactly 2 megabytes. And we didn't even have that clicked on. So a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is a black and white photo, and there is a lot of white negative space there, which as a JPEG doesn't take up a bunch of room. So let's just look at that. We can open it up here in preview. I can zoom in. I can still see that it's nice and sharp. I got lots of detail there to work with, and I'm going to be happy with that. So I hope this is helpful. Again, those settings, I'll just screenshot these here for you. You don't need to have the copyright symbol in there. I do it because it's my job. It's what I do. And let me just screenshot this for you guys again so you have it. And reach out with questions. Okay, thanks a bunch.